Welcome everyone to Make Your Day Richer, the game show. I'm your host, Richard Wilmore, and today we're playing Ready or Not.
Yay!
Let's meet our contestant. What is your name?
Sarah Price.
And where are you from?
Waxhaw, North Carolina.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a life and career coach for young adults and young professionals.
Well, how convenient. That's what this game is about. It's like we made it for you.
Woohoo!
All right, you see your paddle over there?
I do.
One side says, you want to flip that over? One side says ready. What does the other side say?
Not ready.
Yet. Yes. So we're going to have 3 rounds.
Okay.
6 questions in each round. And this is all about the work that you do. So I'm going to ask you questions about readiness for young adults, high school students, and you tell me if you think currently that the majority of people are ready or not ready for those things.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Love it.
Okay. Round 1 is school versus work.
Woo!
Okay.
All right.
Question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Are they ready or not yet to write a resume?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes. They are not ready yet because they're writing resumes based on skills, not on competencies, and not on behaviors and outcomes.
Wow.
And in my opinion, I also don't think that they're learning the right way to learn a resume because AI has taken over the way that resumes need to go through applicant tracking systems, which is huge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of speculation on how long a resume should be and what should it say. And I don't think that they have the skills to know how to do that yet.
Okay, that's where you come in.
So that's not yet.
Not yet. Question number 2. Are they ready or not yet to explain how they solved a real world problem?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So
your eyes, I think, rolled in the back of your head when you answered that one.
I would say they're more ready to write resumes than they are to do real world.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because, unfortunately, we took this generation that are our next leaders, right, that are early professionals or they're just finishing up college, and we quarantined them during COVID.
Yeah.
And so when you think about that, what did that do? During critical development stages, we took them out of social settings to learn how to have conversations, and it comes down to authentic communication and authentic connections. And to be able to solve real world issues or real life issues, I think that there's a gap there.
Okay. I thought this game was just going to be she would answer, then we move on. But I love that you have, I love this. This is what I love about you. Okay. Number 3, ready or not yet collaborating with a team across departments?
Okay. So I do some
maybe like flip it back and forth.
Ready, not ready.
Okay. Yeah.
I do strength-based coaching through a methodology through Gallup Strength Finders. And the reason I love using this methodology on this age group is because depending on their top strengths, I think some of them might be ready. Yeah. If they have high communication, if they have high woo, which is winning others over. But if they have like analytical or restorative or deliberative, which actually means something in the Gallup language, they're probably not ready. Okay. So I think it depends on what their strengths are. And also I will expand to say, I feel really strongly about it. We're not one-dimensional human beings with just our strengths or just our personality. Some people think, oh, well, I'm introverted, I'm extroverted. That makes me good in solving real world problems. I actually think it's your strengths, your personalities, and your brain on how that works together. So that's why my answer is ready, not ready, because I think it's more in depth.
Okay, I'll make a triangle next time
make a triangle
to add that third option.
Yes.
All right, number 4. Are they ready or not yet using AI tools with authenticity and purpose?
I actually think they're ready.
Yeah.
AI isn't going anywhere. They know how to use AI. The young adults, this generation knows how to use AI and use it really well. There's a lot of research out there where now, and all of them know this, that schools, universities, and recruiters know how to track if something is being used in AI, but it's not going anywhere. Yeah. So my advice is use it. It's there. Just use it wisely. But you really have to be able to use your creativity too. And I have a little bias around it because while I think we all need to use it, I also want our young adults to like use their imagination and their brain. So I think they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that they don't overuse it. And I think in some cases we are.
That's a good point. It's almost like I maybe used AI to make this game. Here we go. Ready or not yet, communicating results in a job interview.
Ooh. I would say not yet.
Okay.
And I think that goes back to the authentic communication and just knowing how to talk about what you're good at and talk about skills. When I work with young adults or early professionals, I ask them 2 questions initially. What are you good at?
Mm-hmm.
No one can answer. I don't really know. I don't think anything. And then I say, what do you struggle with? And they can all answer.
Do you think that's partly because people are trained to not like brag about themselves, so they feel like they don't want to say that they're good at something?
No, because I think a lot of people can.
Yeah.
And confidently communicate that.
Yeah.
I think for this specific age group, they're not exactly sure how to communicate it or the right ways to communicate it.
Okay. All right. Final question in round 1. Are they ready or not yet to understand how hiring decisions are made?
Ooh, that's a really good question. And I would say not yet, because I don't even think some recruiters know that answer. And I didn't necessarily when I was in the talent acquisition space, because there's a lot of factors that go involved to hiring decisions. It could be budget.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes recruiters don't even know that. It could be the preference of the hiring manager. Sometimes we don't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
And it also could be, what if there's an internal candidate who's qualified for the role? So that's a difficult question, because I don't think when you're external interviewing, there's things you can control and can't control. And I think that's one thing that they can't control. All they can control is doing their best and understanding what they're bringing to the table.
Okay, that's the end of round 1. How do you think you did?
I don't know.
I think you got 6 out of 6, so that's really all
right,
that matters
100.
to me.
Let's go.
Yes, I've got a couple questions for you. You talk a lot about the gap between school and real-world readiness. What do you mean by that, and where do you see it show up most clearly?
I think there's a gap in skills and a gap in competencies. So what I mean about that is employers today aren't looking just for a GPA or a major or college, what college you went to. And I think we have been conditioned as a society to go on this linear path.
Yeah.
You go to high school, then you have to go to college, then you have to be in a relationship and get married, and then you have to have kids, and you have to get a good job and make $100,000 and save for retirement, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I think there's a huge gap in getting that information to our young adults, because you do not have to have that linear trajectory. Yeah. So it gets me a little crazy to think that we're putting that stress on these young professionals and adults, especially if they don't know their strengths and they're in jobs that don't match their strengths, or they're doing something because someone told them that they need to. So the gap between school or university and real world readiness, like a first job, is, do you even know what you want to do? And why did you choose that? I just asked someone the other day, high school senior, what are you going to do after high school? Go to college. And I said, why are you going to college? What made you choose college? And he just looked at me and said, I don't know. And then I said, oh, okay, what major did you choose? And he said, business. And I said, why did you choose business? And he said, I don't know. Yeah. So they don't even know why they're choosing what they're choosing. Now, I'm not saying everyone doesn't know. My son, for example, he's known he wants to be a marine biologist since he was like 5th grade. That's what he's going to school for. So yes, am I making like a blanket statement? Sure. There are kids who know exactly what they want to do, but I think there's a huge gap where kids don't know what they want to do. And so I want to try to fill that.
And there's such an expectation to know what you want to do. Like, I think it's fascinating that people who don't even know how to do their own laundry are supposed to know what they want to do for the next 80 years of their life.
Yep.
And why we think that's doable.
Right. And I was just having a conversation with a mom the other day, and she was like, we just were hypothesizing about all the what ifs. And I'm not a psychologist or PhD, but I've been in HR for over 25 years and I'm older, right? So through my life experiences, the brain actually isn't fully developed until 25, the prefrontal cortex. And so the parents are acting as their kids' prefrontal cortex until they're about 25, but we have them make these really important decisions in middle school and then in high school and go into college. And scientifically, their brain's not even developed. And the gap is we're not even giving them the skills and the tools that they need. So we need to take a step back and be like, time out. Really, what do they need to know? They need to understand their strengths. They need to understand that there's another path aside from this linear trajectory. And they just have a lot of pressure on them. And we quarantine them for 3 years. So it's just this generation. I've worked with high performing adults for a really long time and left to go work with this age group because they really need the help.
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Whole new world.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yes. Are you ready for round number 2?
I am. Let's go.
Skills in action. All right. Strengths, soft skills, and the shift to skills-based thinking or hiring. Ready?
Okay.
Number 1, ready or not yet? Adaptability in changing work environments.
Ooh. I think that depends on their strengths. I'm going to say ready. Again, blanket statement, because if your strengths or adaptability, change is great. I'm working with someone now, she does not like change at all. So, and companies are now looking for adaptability and other competencies more than ever. Again, like I mentioned before, not just skills and not just a GPA. So why am I saying ready? Because I think this generation wants change. They don't want a 5-day work week. They don't want to necessarily commute into the office. So they don't need as much structure, I'm seeing in my experience, than my generation. So I'll say ready.
Okay. I'll take that answer.
Okay.
Are they ready or not yet to lead with their Gallup strengths? I feel like we already talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I would say the middle. The reason is because some schools do invest in Gallup strengths or in some sort of assessment. And that's a good start. But this is where I get crazy. Anyone can take any assessment and read a book. And that's what we say. Take an assessment, go read it on your own and read this book. No, right? There's no one to sit down and talk them through it that understands how to interpret this. So they're like, A, they're not going to read it. And B, they read it and it's this huge report and they don't know how to interpret it. So I'm very glad that some schools are investing in it, more universities than like high schools, and companies are investing in it. I'm starting to see more and more. But I was just at a session yesterday and they're like, why have we never done this before? I've never heard of this. There's like, this could dramatically change our team. And it was an organization that wanted to train their emerging leaders. So if the company's willing to invest in it in the right way, I think they're ready. But if they're not investing in it and not investing in learning and development, then no, you can't expect your employees to be ready.
I love that you can't expect that.
You can't. You can't expect it. You're not going to give them learning and development. You can't expect them to get better. Like,
hello. What about, are they ready or not yet? Digital literacy beyond social media.
Ready. Yeah. I think their whole lives are technology. And so new apps are coming out all the time. And now I actually think that organizations have to be more prepared with the technology versus antiquated systems because they're looking for that. Can you put this in an app? Can you make it a Kahoot? Can you make it a game show? So something way more interactive than something boring, honestly. And they can pick up new apps and new technology really quickly. So organizations that are more on the technology front with how they roll out programs, I think they're ready.
Okay. All right. Are they ready or not yet giving and receiving peer feedback?
Ooh. Wow, that's a hard one. If I had to pick, ready if you're going to get the feedback through technology, right? Because think about it. They talk to each other through Snapchat and
Yeah.
Instagram and all of these other chatbots, right?
Yeah.
And they don't have a problem behind a screen.
Mm-hmm.
Face to face, not ready.
Okay. That's good to know. Ready or not ready, managing deadlines in real world projects.
Ready for some, not ready for others,
Okay.
depending on their strengths.
Yeah.
It really, really depends on how they innately think, feel, and behave, which is the methodology I use. So I would say both,
Okay.
depending. I work with some young adults that absolutely can. And then I have some young adults that can't get out of their own way.
Okay.
And it's not because they're lazy or it's their fault. They either don't have the support or they don't have the skills and the tools.
Yeah. What's yours? Because you've said it, the young adults often enough that I want to make sure, like, what age group do you really work with? Like, what's your definition of young adult?
So in one aspect, it's usually high school and college.
Okay.
But in a program that I'm launching with a partner next year who's a PhD psychologist, it's going to be targeted towards probably 24, 25 to about 32.
Yeah.
So it's those new professionals,
Mm-hmm.
just first job,
Mm-hmm.
either out of high school, gap year, right into a job, or linear path,
Yeah.
high school, college job, that are now realizing, wait, I'm not happy.
Yep.
I'm not using my strengths. This doesn't fit what I want to do. I think I chose the wrong major. I think I chose the wrong job. I just got put on a performance improvement plan, or I'm not happy, whatever it might be. So we really see a need for that. So I coach all levels, even up to adults, but this very specific program come next year will be 24 to like 32.
Okay. Well, I hope you come back for that.
I will.
To talk about that.
I
All right,
will.
our final question in round 2. Are they ready or not yet? Demonstrating initiative without being asked.
If we're talking about my kids, sorry, Jake and Justin.
Sorry.
Maybe one of them yes, one of them no. But I would say not yet.
Not yet.
In a lot of the parents that I'm working with, or even the recruiters or hiring managers at the companies that I work with, there's definitely a gap between forward thinking and being able to have critical thinking and executive functioning skills. I think is lacking with this group.
All right. That's the end of round 2.
Great.
Fantastic.
All right.
Here's a question for you. How's the job market changing, and why are these skills, especially the human ones, more important than ever?
So there's a lot of research that's being done by Harvard Business Review and some other organizations that are actually studying this. And they're saying that the soft skills are exponentially more important than even a college degree now. There's a lot of companies that are not looking at GPAs and college degrees anymore, that are looking for the softer skills. So can you critically think? Can you solve problems? Do you need a lot of direction? Can you have conversations with other coworkers? Can you take constructive criticism? And they're starting to ask interview questions around that. So the interview questions used to be, tell me about your experience with, and they still are. And then there's behavioral based questions, tell me about a time when. And I'm seeing a lot more recruiters and hiring managers asking, tell me about a time when, and then seeing if they're able to articulate that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We're off to round 3.
Okay.
It's AI, automation, and future readiness.
Ooh.
Ready?
Ready.
Or not yet? Tailoring resumes for each job role.
I would say no, you don't need to do that. And they also don't need to be one page anymore, because the applicant tracking systems are looking for keywords for those jobs. So I would say, if you're looking for an accounting job, for example, and you're staying in accounting and you've been an accountant, great, you probably already have those keywords. But if you're making a career shift, which I see a lot of people doing, especially if a career doesn't align with their strengths, or they've done something for a really long time, they're ready to do something else, yes, of course, you need a new resume. The important things is that you can tie your signature qualifications and your competencies and other skills that you have to make you qualified for that job.
Okay, there you
Yes.
go. Number 2, using LinkedIn to showcase real projects. Ready or not yet?
Ooh, I would say ready.
Yeah.
They know how to showcase their projects in some cases. They know how to use technology with LinkedIn specifically. I recently just went to a university and then presented a resume and LinkedIn workshop. They know what LinkedIn is, but when I went around and looked at their profiles,
They did not know
empty,
what LinkedIn was. Yeah.
and they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So, do they understand technology? Ready. Do they understand LinkedIn and that you need it? Not ready.
Yeah.
And 98% of companies and recruiters use LinkedIn.
Okay.
And it also has its own bot in it as well. So the more information you have in LinkedIn, the more it can match you with the right jobs. And then the recruiters are looking at that.
Okay. Number 3, ready or not yet? Understanding how AI affects hiring.
Not yet.
Oh, wow.
Only because it's not that they don't understand AI. They haven't understood, let's say, how their resume and LinkedIn pulls keywords to understand AI to get jobs.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, well, if I could just get in for the interview, I could probably pass the interview. I'm like, well, we have to get you through the applicant tracking system
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily have the skills and connections to know how to do that. Because if you think about it, some have a new job where they've had a lot of internships and they have had a lot of experience and they can pull keywords. And if they want to be a marketing assistant or want to go into SEO or something like that. But students that are coming out of high school or haven't had a lot of internships are not going to have those skills to pull from their resume. So that's going to be harder for an ATS system to pick up just because you're lacking the experience.
Okay. Are they ready or not yet to learn to unlearn outdated skills?
They're ready
Yeah.
to learn outdated skills. They learn pretty quickly and they've learned to adapt pretty quickly. And they, again, it's not, they're little incremental changes with technology. I think they're ready for. Are they ready to go work face to face in an organization? Not yet.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the feedback that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a lot of debate between back in the office and remote. If you think about it generally, we need connection and human beings need to be with each other to learn and grow, not from AI. And the way that we learned or I learned was getting a job, sitting at a desk, hearing and observing things over time to understand learned behaviors, whether it's how to have a conversation with your boss, something to say or not say in the office, how to show up in the office, how to dress in the office, right? So COVID and being quarantined put all of these young adults behind. So they didn't learn the social skills to show up, which is actually, I think, that, and now more and more students are telling me this when I work with them, I want to go work in an office.
Wow.
Yeah. So they don't, a lot of them, again, blanket statement, but a lot of them do want to go work in an office because I think they're starting to realize that just writing to people behind a screen isn't just working anymore. And they're losing some of those soft skills that companies really want now.
Okay. Are they ready or not yet to build a portfolio of tangible outcomes?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I don't really have any data for that other than everything I just said.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that answer.
And if they're if they're just in their first job, their boss really matters.
Yeah.
And I highly, highly recommend as early as possible get a mentor.
Okay. Ooh, yeah.
Because the most successful people, if you think about the most successful people in your life or in the world, have had mentors, right?
Yeah.
And so if they prefer being at home or they prefer working remote, that doesn't have to stop you from getting a mentor.
Okay. Final question. Are they ready or not yet to navigate job boards and hiring platforms strategically?
Ready to
Mhm.
navigate it, but this is the interesting thing. If you go into LinkedIn and you go into apply for a job and you click on that job, you'll see a button that says apply. And the apply button, when you click on it, usually will bring you to that company's
Mhm.
hiring system. And that hiring system sometimes have the functionality that says, upload your resume here and we will automatically fill it in.
Right.
And they'll do that. But sometimes it doesn't give you that. And you have to go in and type everything again. And they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They don't want to sit there for 20 minutes typing in their information. And I'm like, how bad do you want this job? And they're like, oh my gosh, this is my dream job. And I'm like, you're not willing to put 20 minutes of effort in
Mm.
to fill out an application?
Yeah.
Now, LinkedIn also, if you have premium, also has a functionality. Apply, oh, why am I forgetting? Quick apply,
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm.
And if you click on that, that is within LinkedIn. So you can apply really fast, upload your resume, and they'll use your LinkedIn profile. The downside of that is if your LinkedIn profile is empty, that's what the recruiter is
Not
seeing.
helpful.
Hello,
Yeah.
people. So are they ready? Yes, from a technology perspective. No, they don't know LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And if they don't have a mentor or someone to help them, they're not going to understand how the system works.
Okay.
But yeah, it worries me when I meet young adults and they don't want to spend 20 minutes to fill out the application on a job that they're really excited about.
Yeah. All right, that was it. That was the end of the game.
Yay!
That's
Do we
ready or
win?
not. You won. Of course you
I
won.
won. Okay, great.
I have one other question for you. You mentioned that like hiring is changing too. What should young adults know about AI and how companies are hiring now?
So like I mentioned, AI is not going away.
Yeah.
And there's usually only a few recruiters for every maybe 10 or 15 jobs or 20 jobs that they're working on. So the recruiters are only going to look at someone's resume for 20 seconds or even less now, I think. So the applicants need to know, whether you're in your first job and you're looking or you're right out of college or in high school, is you have to have keywords in your resume.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be one page, because I don't personally think that that's enough information to get through the applicant tracking systems. Please just spend the 20 minutes filling it out. And recruiters can tell if you used AI in a cover letter. So you need to really make it specific to that job and how you're standing out. But the algorithm in the applicant tracking systems, the more accurate you can get those things and the more qualified you are for the job, the higher you will show up in the applicant tracking system. And what they're saying now, this was a study done by LinkedIn, is that for every 100 applicants, only 25 of them are getting through to a human being.
Wow.
So 75 are actually, you're getting an automatic reply. No one's even seeing it.
Wow.
And if you don't understand how that works, you're getting constant rejections.
Yeah.
And if you're applying to 15 or 20 jobs a day and you don't have the right LinkedIn profile or resume, or you don't understand your strengths, I mean, that's really going to take a hit on your confidence, because now you've applied for hundreds of jobs and you keep getting rejections. But you're not actually doing anything wrong as a human.
Right.
It's just you're not getting through this technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's also another big thing that the young adults need to know. Go back old school and show up and hand your resume to a human. Get in your car, print 50 resumes, go search up the 50 top jobs or companies in your area, see who's hiring in the roles that you're interested in, and go drop your resume off. You could do that with any local restaurant or business. So if you're not getting any results online, even if you have a great resume or LinkedIn, try showing up in person, because a lot of young adults aren't doing that.
Yeah.
So that could give you a little bit of an edge.
I've learned so much today. Thank you for coming and playing.
Yay, thank you for having me.
And people want to connect with you out there in the world. How do they do that?
Yep. So liveinyourstrengths.com is my business.
Okay.
And Sarah, SARAH, at liveinyourstrengths.com is my email. And I'd love to hear from you.
Great.
Yeah.
Come back and play anytime.
I will.
All right. That
Thank
is
you.
Ready or Not, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.